I was recently gifted Crypt of the Necrodancer, and honestly, it is very hard, but I love rhythmic games, and so I'm kind of want to really sit down and actively try to not suck at it. Let's take a listen, shall we? Well, I should probably talk about this before it ends, but you know, there's something so relaxing about this. Crypt of the Necrodancer obviously moves at a pretty quick pace. There's a lot of fast rhythms, but to have something kind of slower like this, it's actually really satisfying. It's like such a peaceful aesthetic, right? I don't even know what to say necessarily because it's such like a da da ya da ya da da ya da da da. It's peaceful, it's vibrant. It really feels like it sets the stage for, I don't know, like reflection in a way, but really like it makes me think about Portobellohead and like what Portobellohead is. I assume Portobellohead's a boss, but if it is a boss, then it really sort of defies traditional ideas of what bosses are. Let me just swing back a little bit and just talk a little bit about this intro. So like right here, we start off really calm, right? It's such a common trope in music and composition where the beginning is just a little bit of a slight introduction. That's obvious, right? But then it gets slightly louder. I find this synthetic this synthetic element here to be really satisfying. It's just really fun to have like a little bit of a melody surrounded by this. I don't want to call it EDM because it isn't, but this synthetic funky jazz thing. It's really nice to have a melody in there that makes you feel like, yeah, you know what I mean? It's really, really satisfying. Yeah, and that's interesting too because we have this like wow, and then we go into right, which is very, very energetic and very, very playful. It's almost like, hey, buddy. It's like a conversation. Almost like Portobellohead is the lower stuff. Now Portobellohead could just be the mission. I don't know. But then the character we play as is really friendly, bubbly. Right there, you hear how they trade? I find that really interesting. I think that higher voice represents the main character, and that lower voice is Portobellohead. I really think so. Like, listen. I love that. That melody is so good. Right when it peaks in here, it's just so satisfying. Hey. Big swell and then like, what do you think that means? To me, it almost feels like, I don't know, it's odd, but it almost gives me this emotional feeling of like bonding with a friend, choosing to spend time with someone. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel like a battle theme, if it is a battle theme. Here, musically, here, obviously, like that to me is not positive, right? That's a little scary, but you hear a that's a little bit more fearful, a little bit more like, uh-oh, watch out, you know what I mean? And then I love that we sort of get this, like, I wouldn't call it a recap per se, but we do get this very interesting. It's very jazzy, obviously, but again, this feeling of laid backness here, and it's interesting how this instrumentation or this little corner of it really gives a sense of no, you won't. You know, I don't know. It's very little scoldy. I like that here we get a big rhythmic shift. We get a little, it's not huge, but there is a kind of a pivot away from that melodic section. And we go into a bum 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 bum, bum 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 bum. Maybe a little bit of tension, maybe a little bit of like, I don't know, reflection, a little bit of like, okay, all right, cool. Yeah. This is a reflective moment. So this is fun because this is a melody that we heard earlier in a different way. And now we have a little bit of a subtle pullback on it, which is a little bit more of an assessment, a little bit more of it's hard because this is like dancey music, trance music, EDM music, sort of like a synthetic jazz. And so a lot of my expertise comes into when it comes into classical music and the different instrumentation of classical music. But there are individual little lines that we can extract from even something like this that is emotionally deep and rich and has like a little bit of subtlety, and also some of it's guessing, because the beauty of it is that whether you have context or no context, you actually can glean quite a bit from how it makes you feel. And so this is obviously a dance, but there is a friendly aesthetic to this with a little bit of like nefarious villainy in here as well. I don't know what Portobellohead 2-3 is. The music is a vibe, and it's a very much a feeling of like, gotta get it done, gotta go to work. Hey, what's up? How are you? Anyway, back to work. You know what I mean? Fun rhythm though. That's a really fun gesture. Fun. This won one of the Patreon votes, a really fun piece, and I'm glad that it got picked. I want to hear the rest of this soundtrack because actually this game is really cool. The soundtrack is really awesome. And it's just really fun to enjoy pieces where there's not always such an intensity to them. Like sometimes it's okay to just like enjoy a piece, vibe with a piece, have it mean whatever it means to you in that moment, and then move on. You know what I mean? So that's cool. Crypt of the Necrodancer has a ton of awesome music in it. That's for sure. And yeah, feel free to like, subscribe. There's more videos in the channel if you're interested in more music analysis. And as always, thanks a ton, and I'll see you later.